Oh.
Hello and welcome to Paranormally Speaking. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Cathryn. I'm with my co-hosts Lynda and Trevor, and we are so happy to have you here this week. How you guys doing?
Doing good. So sorry we're a little bit late tonight. A little bit of technical difficulties getting things going tonight, but hey, we made it. Yay.
As the show's about paranormal drama, it was actually my drama that was my drama getting this stupid iPad to work, but we got it. It's all good. We're good. We're fine. How are you guys doing? How's everything? Lynda, you just had the most amazing trip.
I did. I just got back from France, which was pretty incredible. I was there for 16 days. Started in the south of France on the French Riviera in a place called Antibes, and then took the high-speed train to Paris for the second week. So I got to hang out with some really cool French people and practice my French, which is actually not so bad. I was quite impressed.
Nice.
It was good. It was good.
Did you get to do any paranormal investigating down there?
I didn't, but I did get to go and see the big, huge cemetery in the middle of Paris called Père Lachaise. And I got to see where Jim Morrison's buried, and Edith Piaf, and Chopin, and Moliere, and Oscar Wilde. And I got to, kind of feel the essence and the frequencies in that cemetery, because it's massively old and it's got quite the resonance there. So that was kind of cool. And I know that you're not allowed to actually go there and just do a paranormal investigation, much like in Scotland at Greyfriars. But just being there, it was really kind of amazing, just to feel that weird kind of interesting essence. But it was really a lot of fun. I had so much fun, and I want to go back. So there.
That's lovely. How long were you there? You were there for a couple weeks at least, right?
Yeah, 16 whole days, and it was fantastic. Well, it was absolument fantastique. So there you go. It was.
You can
What was the highlight of your trip? What was the best part, do you think?
Oh my gosh, there were so many highlights, but I do think that, Père Lachaise was really amazing. That was a great day. Going to the Musée d'Orsay and seeing, like, really up close, an actual Renoir and a Manet and a Monet, and it was just like, I couldn't believe that I was there. It was one of those pinch me kind of experiences. I didn't get to go down into the catacombs. The girl that I was with is very claustrophobic and didn't want to do that. So it's okay. Next time. But we rented one of those little things called a tuk-tuk, which is kind of like a little kind of golf cart, and went on a 4-hour tour of Paris. But it was a lot of fun. The week that we were in the south of France was interesting because it's a whole different vibe. In the south of France, it's, you see the millionaire yachts, and you get to experience the heat because it was really hot down there. But it was really cool. It has a different vibe, different experience. So I highly recommend going to France.
That's cool.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yes.
And this is a trip you had been wanting to go on for quite a while, right?
Well, it was actually gifted to me, which was,
Oh.
yeah, it was a lovely thing. I mean, I'm so grateful. The girl that I went with, she and I have been friends for a very long time, and we actually met in the paranormal because we used to work together with the Toronto Ghosts and Hauntings Research Society. So we've known each other for a very long time, and we travel really well together. So yeah, it was amazing. I just, Europe is a whole different ball game. But you know what's a whole different ball game is what we're talking about today, because I know we're talking about a couple of things, right?
Yeah, yeah, we sure are. So the first thing we'll start with is, okay, so our amazing Trevor has created an app to help out with ghost hunting. And would you like to tell us a little bit about this? Because this is so amazing.
Oh yeah, I'd appreciate it. Yeah, I'm like Linda, getting to the places I've been shut in my house working on this program and this app that's currently only available for Android. And I apologize to all the Apple users out there. If I Once I can get my hands on a mini Mac, I've got everything written and ready to go. I just need a Mac so I can run it through Xcode and then I can release it on the Apple Store as well. But what over the years of investigating and talking to different paranormal investigators, I always had these ideas of like, it would really be cool if, and finally I was able to make some of those ideas come to fruition. So what I've created is basically a comprehensive investigation system that you can or you don't have to use a phone. There is a phone app that goes along with this, but the big thing is the review lab. Anybody that's done paranormal evidence review will know that it is extremely time consuming
Mm-hmm.
and trying to take the evidence out of that and clip it and get it set up in correct format and everything and then sharing it with the world is can be tedious. And I was using no less than four different computer programs to do all of that, right? So, you got to watch it and then you got to run it through a video editor so you can pull it. And then there's the whole thing if okay, well, can we make this clip louder so people can actually hear it, or can we take out some of the static? So there's programs for that. And it was just kind of a mess. So I built a program that does it all for so, and the review lab, let me see if I can share this with you guys real quick. Um, Share screen. Okay, can you guys see my screen yet? No, not yet. Probably not. Select the screen to share. Hang on here. I'm learning.
Not a worry.
Life is a learning process, Trevor.
How do you share the screen? What the heck? Okay, here we go. Okay, can you see that?
Yeah. Well, the screen's coming up. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Review. Okay.
Yeah, so this is what it looks like when you first open it. There's a lot of buttons, and I don't want everybody to freak out because there's a lot of buttons. But like I said, this is a very comprehensive package, but it's about as simple as you can get. Okay. So what we do is you can go to start a new review. So if you aren't using the app and you've already done your investigating and you've got all of your footage uploaded to a server, you can download the service, but you can enter in all the information. So if we went to say my house, okay, and then we can add that Trevor was investigating and Kathy is investigating and Linda. So I can enter my investigators. I can say I'm the one that's reviewing the evidence. It's today. I can import weather conditions just at a touch of a button. So it'll give us the moon phase, solar activity, all of that fun stuff. And if we have if it's, and this was at my house because it's reading where we're at, but I can enter in wherever we were at and the dates that we investigated, and it'll pull up that date. So if we did the investigation last week, and and we were in Calgary, I could enter all that in, and it would just pull it up. It's kind of cool.
So cool.
Then we just go to our media, just open media, And I've already downloaded a couple of little things here, and I can just double click on it, and it automatically pulls it up on our little screen,
Oh, wow.
and we're ready to review.
That's
Now, what's cool? Now, what's it? Some of the things that is going to set this apart from other programs is the transcription. So I just clicked auto transcribe. Right now, it's reading through the entire video, and it's gonna pull all of the audio, all everything that was said, everything that I heard, and it's gonna transcribe it for us. And so here in a couple, and it takes a minute or two to do that in a 15-minute clip. But what's cool about that is so, if you heard a knock or something during the investigation, you kind of know where it is, or you're not sure if you caught anything at all. Once it transcribes, you can scroll right through the transcription and see the sounds and see what was said and all of that stuff. And you can actually jump to that moment in time in the video.
wow.
Um, which is pretty cool. I actually really like that feature. It's not infallible, obviously. I mean, it's still gonna mistranscribe things, it's gonna mishear things, but it's gonna give you an idea of what was going on at least. Um, and what's neat about that is up in the settings. So right now we're doing what's the review mode is the deep evidence review. That's default. So it's really taking its time uh, uh, going through everything in detail. But if you wanted to just do a quick scan to see if you caught anything, of note at all, you could do that. I don't. You still need to review your stuff, in my opinion, but some people like that idea. There's also if you were in a noisy environment, so a lot of places we go to that have like refrigerators running or HVAC units running,
Right.
we've designed it so you can filter some of that stuff out. So you can actually, and that's just in the transcription, okay? It doesn't mean it's going to take it out of your original video. It's not altering any of the original stuff at all. And so, but when it's transcribing, basically it's going to take those aggressive hisses and try to see past that so it can actually hear what's going on, which is pretty cool. Yeah, there's a lot of different settings and stuff that you can go here. Still transcribing. Yeah, we're still transcribing. Uh, some of the buttons down here that I've got set up, and I apologize, I'm getting a echo all of a sudden, but when you want to look at your video and you thought you might have caught something, you can actually move your video up and down frame by frame.
Wow. That's
I
something
added
new.
that because of one time we caught this shadow and it literally was like a third of a frame. It was so fast. And we didn't really have, we had to use, we had to go find a program that we could use to like go slow it down and move it frame by frame so we could actually see what was happening. So I built that into this and you can actually change it, 30, 24, 25, or however many frames a second you want to move it to. Uh, Instead of having to hit, move your scroller bar back and forth to try to listen to something over and over again, you just hit a mark and it sets it up down here, and you can just set your loop, or you can just go jump to a moment in time and end it, and it will just loop that piece for you as much as you want to hear it, which I absolutely love. So that's kind of the main basic setup. I'm hoping this is gonna finish transcribing really quick so you can see. Oh, here we go. Cool. So you can see that it's transcribed everything.
Wow.
That is freaking amazing.
So you can see people were talking. It was picking things up. See if
Wow.
we picked up any sounds on this one. Anyway, so like I said, I mean, I can just click on this and automatically it jumped to that part in the video. We can try playing it and see if we can hear anything. I don't know if we can hear anything or not. And we say, okay, well, we like that. We think this is a ghost. So I can mark that. So I just mark that hit. Okay. And it automatically creates a clip of at 2 minutes and 10 seconds. It's going to record everything 5 seconds before that and 5 seconds after that. So from 2:05 to 2:15, I've got a 10-second clip already marked just by clipping mark hit.
Jeez. That's
So,
genius.
um, so yeah, it's kind of cool. I kind of like it. Down here, there's like these hidden sounds. These are like very, very low confidence sounds. So like, yeah, there definitely wasn't a boat in this museum. Uh, possible horse, probably not. So but it's hearing something. It just doesn't know what it's hearing. But those are in there. So yeah.
Wow.
Uh,
And so this is available now uh,
yes.
on the, like, for Android, right? Like the Google Play.
So right now, so this is actually on Windows. This is a
Okay.
computer program. You can go to periscopelab.com and you
Okay.
can download it there.
Okay.
There's a 7 day, you can have it for 7 days to try out. And for free, you don't have to put in your card information or anything. And if you like it and it's something you want to use, and I haven't even scratched the surface of what you're going to be able to do with this, simply because you see this little thing over here, like that says team.
Yes.
So this is going to, I don't know, Cat, or yeah, either one of you, have you guys ever been like on a really big investigation where you got multiple groups going out to
Yeah,
different
for sure.
locations in the same building
Yeah.
and
Yes.
then trying to coordinate that with everybody,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Um, and hold on, I need to go back to my review here and pause this because we're getting talking. Um, so basically what this will be able to do is, if everybody has the team app on their phones, you can actually set this up so that everybody's phones get synchronized.
Oh,
And so you can, and basically it'll say, um, for your zones and rotations, I'm going to put, I'll put Kathy and Lynda in the East Wing. I'm going to put myself and somebody else in the courtyard and somebody over here. Um, and this is when we're going to be investigating, and then we'll go down to readiness, and everybody on their phone is going to be able to get into their locations. They're going to be able to indicate that they are ready to go.
Okay.
And then we'll be able to hit start investigation, and it'll sync everybody's phones up to a timer. And when that timer ends, everybody knows it's time to rotate. You don't have to
wow.
use radios or anything like that to interrupt investigations. Everybody knows when it's time to rotate and where they're
Yeah.
going. And you can have one person sitting at base and coordinate the whole thing, which is pretty cool. Another big feature on this is cancel that. Back to review. Is when you go to where is it? Device sync. Um, Linda, how often do you only investigate with one camera?
Oh, not too often.
Right? You usually have a couple audio recorders or a couple cameras, right?
Yes.
Have you ever tried to go and find a piece of evidence that was caught on one camera and
Oh,
then looked for it on another?
yes. I have a lot of gray hair under this color.
Hmm. It's pretty easy to do, right?
Sure.
Yeah,
No.
you think? Well, it depends. If you turn those systems on at the exact same time and you had like a second by second, synchronization on it,
Yeah.
it would be a lot easier.
Oh, yeah.
That's what this program will do.
Wow.
You can add different recorders onto it and have it look for the same markers, and you can listen if like what you're listening for and you find it on the main camera
Yeah.
and you're looking for that loud knock, you can actually tell it to look for the loud knock on the next camera, and
Wow.
it'll go through and find it.
I love that.
And then you can actually sync them both up together and have, so like if one camera started 5 minutes before the other camera, you can actually make it so it'll balance that out. And you can sync all that stuff. I think that I really like that. So
That's
That's
very
amazing.
cool.
so
Can
but
you record from the app, or no? You have to add, like, you have to record from a separate device.
so yeah, let me talk about that. Let me get out of here. So how do I stop sharing? How do I go back to you guys? Did I stop sharing? Okay.
Yeah.
So the app, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show it to you. The app is free to download. Um, and it doesn't replace any of your gear.
Okay.
Okay, I want to make that clear. It's not a replacement, but you can investigate with this if you want to. So basically, it's called Periscope. If you search Periscope Investigator, it should come up. And most of the features are very similar. I don't know if you can see very much of this, but this is where like you can set up the investigation just like
Okay.
I showed you on the other thing. Okay. And then when you get everything set up, the free version includes the audio recorder. So it turns your phone into an audio recorder. It does live transcription. So as it's going, it's transcribing what is being said, what it's hearing, that whole thing. You can hook up an external microphone to it if you like.
Right.
You can hook up an audio recorder. So if you have a Tascam audio recorder and want to hook it up, it'll transcribe what the audio recorder is hearing, which
Right.
is super cool. You
Okay.
can do live EVP on it.
Yeah.
It will do all that. Now, there is a pro version as well, and the pro version is actually really cool because then I've got it built so we can turn on the camera and you can video and transcribe at the same time. Okay, so it'll work as the audio, it's still transcribing everything. I have a ghost box feature on this. It
Wow.
doesn't turn your phone into a ghost box. Anybody that says that they're using their phone as a ghost box, those apps are scamming you because
Right.
they're not ghost box. It's actually scanning the intranet. It's not scanning radio waves. But what I've done is I have a spirit box and I can connect my spirit box to my phone through the headphone
Yeah.
jacks and it transcribes the spirit box.
That's very cool.
So cool. So cool.
So if you're a Spirits Box fan and you're like, okay, well, I don't want it to blast everybody's eardrums out,
Yeah.
and I don't want to be the only one to hear it. Well, you can just set that down and it'll transcribe what it's picking up.
Wow.
The nice thing about having the app is when you're done with your investigation, there's two things you can do. You can export it to an email. It'll export everything
Yeah.
at the touch of a button. It's super easy. Oh, by the way, you mark your hits on here, just like in the website, and it clips it out for you. Just clip. You can export just the clips. You can export everything. You
Nice.
can, but you can also take this and plug it into your computer and open up the website and it'll just auto-populate everything that I showed you on the website. Just click the button and there it goes. It's right there. You can retranscribe everything using a more powerful transcription program that's on your PC. You can get your clips and then you can share them with the world. I mean, I tried to make this about as user friendly as I can. I
Yeah.
try to think of everything that I can.
For sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure I didn't think of everything, but there's a lot of buttons already on there.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
But like I said, it's free to try, and I would love to get people to try it and give me some feedback. Tell me what's confusing. Tell me what you don't like, so I can make it better.
Awesome.
So
I
That's
love that.
fantastic, Trevor. Like honestly. So guys, you heard him. Right?
yeah,
Try it
so the
out.
website, the website is periscopelab.com. So 7-day free trial. And then the price point on it right now is $50 for the program. It's a one-time purchase, but you keep in mind. I mean, the time sake. So for my crew, for my team, when I showed this to them, their minds were blown at how much could. Right now, it takes however many hours you have to do your evidence review, but it took them another 2 to 3 hours trying to just clip evidence, just trying
Mm.
to clip it and get it set up and then sent over. And now it's like, oh, I can review it right here and just hit the clip button or the mark button and boom, there it is. And it's done.
I love
So
that. I
So
love that.
yeah.
I love that it was written by you who has been doing this for a long time and you understand the logistics of being out there and doing an investigation and then the logistics of course, kind of trying to detangle all of that information and get it to the right people and understand how it all works. I think this is amazing. And if Mario is out there from New Light Paranormal, because I know he usually watches the show, he's got to try this. Just saying.
Yeah, in fact, I've been thinking of emailing it to a couple of our friends that we've had on the show, like Michael and
Eddie.
Eddie.
Eddie. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd love to get their feedback on it as well.
Oh,
There's, I really think that this is a beneficial thing for
yes.
teams out there. From just just organizing all your stuff, right? So,
Well, we're
yeah,
going to try it on our next investigation, which hopefully will be coming up soon. And I will keep you posted as
I
to how
appreciate
it
that.
goes and how, user friendly it is, because we've got a couple of really good tech people on our team. So, you know what?
Well,
I'll
hopefully
definitely.
they'll enjoy it. There's a lot on there that, I could take up an entire hour trying to go through everything on there. And because there is a lot on there, there is a help button.
Oh, good.
And it's got everything, all the features, and then step-by-step instructions on how to use it. You know, yeah.
That's
So,
awesome.
Well, you know what else that will do? Help prevent a lot of freaking paranormal drama.
Good
or it might cause
segue.
more. I don't know. So,
Good segue. Thanks, Trevor. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah,
Um,
I appreciate you letting me talk about it. So,
Yeah, that was great.
yeah. So, I mean, in the new, like, well, okay. For those of you that watch the paranormal television, maybe you're following some of your, favorite paranormal investigators. There's been a lot of stuff that has been going on. A lot of like team argue. Now, how did this start? How did this recent one start, Lynda? That you know of
Well, how it started, I think,
with this recent one.
the
So remember,
recent one.
I was like, there's been a lot of drama over the years, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, there's a recent one, and I believe it's because people are now starting to plan their Paracons for 2027. So that's like next year. And apparently, there were a couple of people that were feeling perhaps left out of the equation. So when some of the advertising appeared on social media for this particular event in 2027, there were a couple of people who were left out and they felt very confused about that and had posted something on their page about the fact that they were very confused, and they had some not so nice emojis that they posted. Yeah, so they had some barfing emojis and things like that, which I mean, I don't understand, but that's another story. So, a couple of other people in the paranormal field, and we'll say the famous paranormal field, were a little, yeah, critical of that and started to post things about this person and their buddy in the
Mhm.
paranormal field, and saying things that were a little inflammatory. But the issue is that they were calling them out on some behavior which they felt was not appropriate. And I will just say, first of all, I was really shocked because, being in the paranormal field and doing what we do and working with other teams, I mean, we're not quote unquote famous, but even if we're not famous, it's very dangerous to kind of um, call people out on things, especially publicly,
the key right there. That's
right?
that's the big thing right there. Yeah.
Publicly. So I was rather shocked to see all of this, and yet not very shocked, because if you do follow people in the famous paranormal field, you hear stories and you kind of say to yourself, well, I don't know, because, everybody's got their opinion. But, my dad used to always say there's the truth and then there's lies, and the truth is somewhere in the middle, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this caused a massive, huge thing online. So if you're following certain people online, it's out there, and so many people have opinions about it. And again, when you call people out publicly, things happen.
Yeah. There is a rule that, praise in public and chastise in private, right? So, um, and anytime that you are going to call somebody out in a public forum, I you you know that they're they're asking for it at that point.
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned. So I mean, if you're gonna make it everybody's business and everybody's gonna chime in, and it's gonna get ugly really really fast, and that's unfortunate. So um, yeah, I read through some of the stuff that you were sharing, and I was like, I mean, it's so childish. It's just sad. It's just, come on, you know, and it doesn't do anybody any good. There's no positivity that's going to come out of it. Nobody's going to change their minds, and that's the thing about social media people. I love, people, they post this thing like it's going to be like, oh man, my opinion really matters to people. It doesn't. You're not winning hearts and minds. You're not. It doesn't work that way. I'm sorry. You're just trying
Well,
to get a rise out of people. And
the thing that makes it even harder is that if there are people that have actually seen some of the behavior that they're calling out about, like basically not being nice to fans. I think there was some talk about being drunk at some of the paracons and stuff like that. Things such as this. So if there have been, witnesses to this behavior, you're probably not going to get too far in regards to it. I mean, there's a huge difference if you have a bunch of fans that are like, oh, I met so and so and they were absolutely lovely, as opposed to, well, I met and they were, this whatever, complete bitch or asshole or drunk or whatever it was. You know what I mean? So that's going to make a huge, difference moving forward. And there's been a lot of, obviously drama over the years, not just this stuff. I mean, there's been so much drama in between the teams, and it's interesting because we see the celebrity drama, but sometimes we don't always see the drama from just like the little teams, or even teams within a particular city. And and the thing is that, let me ask a question. What do you guys think? Like, what is the reasoning for this? Like, I mean, when I look at it and I'm thinking, okay, everybody tends to think that, oh, you get into the paranormal field, you're going to be rich and famous and go on TV and, all of this. And yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, sometimes, that does happen or whatever. But, again, even in the little, the little, I don't mean little teams like that doesn't sound right, but you know what I'm getting at, right? Is like the non-famous, let's just say, or the non-public or the non-celebrity teams. We see a lot of that as well. And here's the thing, it's not a lot of times, I mean, unless you're on TV, you're not really making money.
no, we're
Like,
spending it.
yeah, exactly. It's not like you're, famous and walking down the street and signing autographs for people in your city. I mean, very rarely would that ever happen. It's not like you're creating money or an income from it, because most times, like Trevor said, you're spending it. You're spending your own money in regards to. So what do you think is like, what is the creation or the cause of a lot of this, in like this team nonsense or drama?
What do you think, Trevor?
Oh, I think it's egos, 100%. So that's all it is. It's just egos. And, I mean, I'm one of the teams that's being affected by another team in an area that we live in. I've been working on trying to plan the first Idaho State Paracon,
Mm.
and We went through. We were going to go through the old Idaho Penitentiary, super famous spot. We went and talked to them. They were really, really excited to have us. It was going to be a big deal. I mean, we were projecting, 4 or 5 thousand attendees. And then this other team found out what we were doing and convinced the old Idaho Penitentiary to not host it.
Wow.
Yep.
So they actually convinced them not to have it.
Yep.
What was the reason
So
behind that?
they don't like us. Hunter, they just don't like us. That is their reason. They don't like us We used to be a large portion of us were a part of that team about a decade ago. And we left on not so great terms, and the owner just absolutely hates us. They bash us on social media. They spread really weird rumors about us, which I found out lately. It was just kind of like it was like super strange, things like we're doing seances in people's houses and using Ouija boards to conjure demons, and we're hearing this like from people like, what, where'd you, what? Just weird stuff. But yeah, it's just weird and it's sad because I mean, who did it help? The irony of it all was like we knew that team has worked with the old pen for a number of years, and we were very open about really wanting that team to participate to help drive some of the investigations that we were going to be offering and stuff like that, and it's just really sad that, they just let that, and I don't know, well, I can only, speculate, knowing what I know of that team's owner and the pride that they have, and just not being the one that was doing it, uh, that had something to do with it. But it was really funny because, everything was like, oh yeah, the old pen, we were in contact and it was all great. And oh yeah, we can't wait to do this, to just radio silence. And I'm like, what's going on? And calling, oh yeah, we
Oh,
can't do that now. It's like, well, why
yeah.
can't you do that now? And they started trying to come up with these excuses. And then it came out that they'd had a meeting with this other team owner. And yeah, I was like, oh, really?
Wow.
So it was pretty interesting. So, but
Crazy.
that's tens of $1,000s that it went to the old pen.
Yeah,
Not to mention all the vendors that lost the opportunity to go there to do their thing, and then all of the people, all the investigators and visitors that are going to miss out on that experience now because that one team has the ear of that administration. It's just
That's sad.
interesting. It's stupid. It's stupid. So I mean, it doesn't. I mean, who did it? Who does it help? Doing it would have been a win-win for everybody, and now not doing it, everybody loses. You know, out
that's
of spite,
exactly right.
it just doesn't make any sense. Now, I'm still working on putting it on. It's still going to happen. It's just not going to happen there. So I've got to, I'm working on some different angles, but I will not be deterred because I think this is going to be a great opportunity for people. I think it's going to be a good thing for the local community and people coming in from out of state, and I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I got the support of guys that are putting on the conventions out in Oregon and up in Washington and out in Montana. Um, so I'm hoping good things will start happening here. So
Wow. I hope so. But you know what? You're not alone. I mean,
yeah.
our team has had some issues as well.
If I
And
disappear, I'm coming right back. I'm just letting
no,
you know. Okay.
it's okay.
Just one
No
of my
worries.
devices, its battery is dying,
Oh,
so
well, it's
I'm
okay.
just switching over. Okay. All
No
right.
problem. No problem. But no, and I agree with you. I think that, first of all of that speaks volumes about who they are,
Mhm.
and not anything about how you are. We've had the same issues, and we've had people come to us and tell us stories that were told about us. And it's just, I'm sorry, I don't work with people that spread rumors and lies and all of that. I don't do that, because what we're supposed to be doing is we're supposed to be doing this with integrity.
Yeah,
And I have no respect for people that don't do this with integrity.
I
So
couldn't agree more. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Well,
just
yeah,
not right.
and that's what I've got team members that are like pretty upset about a lot of this, and understandably so.
Yeah,
And but it's like, no, we're not bashing them on social media. You notice I'm not name dropping on our show,
nope,
right?
nope,
Because that's not that's not what we're about,
yeah,
right? I don't care about what, if they want to be that way, that's on them. And if somebody finds out that, oh, we were going to do this at this location and they're not, those people can, they can find out who that team is really easily
Yeah.
and hopefully they'll say something. Hey, that's not cool. Why would you do something like that? I don't understand
Yeah.
it. But
I agree. I agree.
and the thing about it is that or I guess the upside is there are other teams out there that are doing the right thing, and they are easy to work with and to get along with, and they want to collaborate on things. That's one of the big things on the website program, the Periscope Review Lab. You can invite other people to come in and review evidence with you. And you can do it together on that program. So,
Yes.
it's intended to try to be more of a collaboration. It's how it should be. It should be a collaboration. We get
Yes.
better results. We uh, get better ideas. I mean, yeah, I just it's frustrating and sad to see, and especially on a, in a, s- in when you have celebrities where you got a lot of people watching, and seeing how that goes, and just the poor example that sets. And
Yeah.
and, and the thing that I think that frustrates me the most about that is the amount of attention that they're going to get from it. You know.
Yes. Yeah,
Um,
that's frustrating too. But you know
mhm.
what's also an interesting kind of, I guess, culmination is that when you call people out and other people from other walks of life, other teams, come out and basically say the same thing and they agree and they share that information, it really
Mhm.
does make you kind of go, huh? Because when you're interested in the paranormal and you watch all of these shows, and you try to make sense of them because they're all different, that, Trevor.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
you know these people are supposed to be people that others look up to or respect in some way. And when that respect is broken, that's something. I mean, I don't know,
Yeah.
but I was on a paranormal TV show, and a couple of times during the seasons when it was broadcast, some people actually did approach me and say, "Hey, wait a minute, I saw you on that show. I saw you were on Paranormal Survivor." I never went, "Yeah, whatever." I didn't treat them horribly. I said, "Yes, like, thank you so much for watching.
Yeah.
That makes me
Yeah.
feel really great. Like, thank you so much." I mean, I'm on a TV show now. It's local, but it's a cable show. I'm on every week, and I'm at the grocery store, and people will come and say, "Oh my God, I see you on the show all the time. I see you on TV." I don't ever treat them terribly. I treat them with respect. I thank
Mhm.
them. And you know what? I'm grateful that people watch and to
Yeah.
see other people out there are supposed to be looking up to, treating others poorly hurts
Yeah.
my heart.
Yeah. And maybe because I don't have that celebrity status, maybe I just don't understand. I'm not on any of the TV shows by any means, but from our YouTube channel and the investigations we do in conventions and through the news and stuff, I've been every once in a while somebody will recognize me, and it's funny because my team they think it's funny too because I don't know why it's just me. But it's like, yes, I'm a minor celebrity where I live. But and it's the same thing. It's like, oh, it's so cool. This is crazy. No, they come up with, oh, hey, Trevor, yeah, and I'll be like, I don't know you. But but to me it's exciting. It's like it's cool, because people are paying attention.
Yeah,
And we're driving interest and things like that. And if we're being jerks, why would they want to watch anymore? You know?
exactly.
And then they're
Exactly.
gonna tell all their friends that, oh, that guy's a turd. Don't listen to Trevor. He's a moron. That guy he wouldn't give you the time of day. Nobody's gonna wanna and that's not what we're about. I want to drive excitement. I want people to be excited to see what we're doing and to come out and experience it with us. And and then tell their friends so we get more people. I want more people interested in the paranormal. I want to see more good paranormal teams out there doing investigations. You know, I'm
Yes.
not gonna, and if they want to know where to go, yeah, go to this location. This location's friggin' amazing. Yeah. Oh, guess
Yes.
what? Yeah, you know why? Because I don't own that location. It's not mine. Everybody should be able to experience it.
Mhm.
So,
Yes. And it's your reputation. I mean,
hmm
it's your character. Why would anybody want to ruin their reputation? Why would anybody who is, I mean, especially if you're a celebrity out there,
right?
that people are looking up to, why would you want to dash other people's expectations? Like that's, I don't know. That
Yeah,
just seems so reprehensible to me. I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know. So this whole drama thing it's escalated to such a point where I mean this person's talking about it, this person's talking about it. It's pretty insane. But again, there's a lot of drama in the paranormal field. And
Yeah.
yeah. It's crazy. Yeah.
because yeah, I mean, is it because of jealousy? Perhaps.
The other
Well, I
thing
mean,
is
like,
too, is it's not just within the teams, but it's like sometimes like, well, even Trevor was mentioning about locations. Like we know, the whole nonsense with the Conjuring house, just as
yeah,
an example, right? Like that was a paranormal, fuckery right there. You know, and so you get those sort of, things happening where, the thing is it seems to be there seems to be a lack of like ethics, morals, staying within the contracts or abiding by contracts or just, not having like a hissy fit that day. Right?
Yes. Yes.
you know like just calm down and go and do what it is that you're there to do. And do we really need to create, Mario did have a good point in regards to, a lot of like these paracons, like that's how they a lot of them make their money, which is true. Okay, that's a given. However, at the same time, you got to ask yourself, why are we not being invited back? But instead of maybe going online and doing it, why don't you just go to, start there at least? At the very least, start there. Because chances are you're probably never going to get invited back once you make it public.
you
Yes.
didn't think that the vomit emoji didn't help? I thought that would have.
Right?
Vomit emoji always makes things better, for sure.
For sure. No, it's so sad. And to see a public figure call out another public figure and then have regular people who follow them chime in and say, well, there's a point. It's a good point because I spoke to that person and they treated me horribly,
Hmm.
or I
Yep.
spoke with that person and they treated my child horribly,
Hmm.
and I've unfollowed them and I don't think much of them anymore. And I will never watch their shows again. And I will tell all my friends not to watch their
Yeah.
shows again.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
I think that I might be wrong on this, and I'm okay with that. But the one thing I do feel in regards to is I think unless you don't have a personal experience, kind of sit down and shut up for, what I mean, like in regards to it, like as far as the chiming in goes, because if you haven't actually met that celebrity, haven't had an experience, good or bad,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, there seems to be a lot of external chatter on top of it that doesn't isn't really necessary in regards to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's like going to a restaurant, and I mean, one person has a bad experience at Olive Garden, and they tell 30 people, "Oh, this place sucks," right?
Yeah.
Well, there was also 100 other people who had great experiences at Olive Garden, and you're never going to hear about that, right?
Yeah.
Instead, those 30 people are going to be like, "Oh yeah, Olive Garden sucks," and they're going to start a smear campaign against Olive Garden now,
Yeah.
right? And so I mean, yeah, who knows? I mean, one person who was just bugging the heck out of one of the celebrities, and the celebrity finally like, hey, you know what? We're done or whatever. Now that one person's like, oh, well, that guy offended me and he's a jerk, so I'm just gonna go
Yeah.
I'm gonna blast them on social media, and now we got the whole cancel culture thing, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, that's true. Oh,
Yeah, and I mean, look at I go to a lot, not paracons, but I go to a lot of like expos and comic cons and stuff like that. Like I've been going, for years. Got to meet a lot of celebrities. Never really had a negative experience. Like to be honest, like I never have. I've always had amazing experiences. And so the thing is that the one thing is that you do spend a ton of freaking money when you go, and that you're going to be spending
yeah,
a lot of money, right? Whether it's the food, like even just having like especially if it's out of town, you got to go to another city, you're eating out 3 meals a day, like your hotel, your flight, whatever it is, gas, and it costs a fortune to be able to go, not on top of getting photos with these celebrities or something, because they are usually charging like a good amount of money. And so I mean, to be honest, I think the last one that we actually spent money on was Stan Lee before he passed away. Yeah.
of
So
course.
that was pretty cool. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like we haven't really spent a lot of money, for getting a celebrity, for a long time. But I do know that it costs a hell of a lot, right? And so, if you're taking your kid there and you're spending like a ton of money, or if you're just going on your own, whatever, it doesn't matter. And you're spending this money to have somebody being rude, like that's an impactful experience. It's not like, oh, you're trying to get an autograph from a hockey player as they're going back to let's say, the change room or something like, you know what I mean? Like they're not going to be in that mindset of like, oh yeah, I got to sign, you know what I mean? They're going to be like focused in on whatever the game, and etc. Right. And a lot of people get offended by that. But if you are spending this amount of money to go to these events, only to be dissed by somebody that you just spent a fortune to maybe have that opportunity to meet, that's a huge slap in the face.
Yes, it is.
And it's going to take away from not only that celebrity, that team, that show, all of the crew who work on that show. You know what I mean? Like it's not like a one person show. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that are affected by it. But on top of that, it's going to be the Paracon itself. So you're going to be like, oh, I went to that, because there's lots of Paracons, each city or each event, or different sponsors that put it on, and you're going to be like, no, I'm never going to that Paracon with such and such a place ever again.
Yeah.
Because of this one particular person. And then again, all you need is a few of those people to do that. And that Paracon is, I mean, it's, that's it for that. So, I mean, it's not just people aren't there just to see this one particular person. They're there to see all of it. But if they have that experience with that person, it's going to affect so many.
yeah, and I wouldn't understand the mindset of being paid to come and be a celebrity at a convention, uh, and understanding what that not. I mean, you would think you would understand what that entails. It's like I'm going to be a celebrity. Okay, cool. Yeah, maybe I'm going to get up, I'm going to talk or whatever, or I'm going to have a booth, and people are going to come and they're going to
Yeah.
want to meet me.
Exactly.
I
Right.
mean, okay, cool. So, and if, yeah, if you show up and you've got this attitude and that's poor towards maybe the convention people themselves, and then
Yeah.
you're not being real nice to the public and things like that, and you're not going to get invited back. It's just,
Yeah.
why
Exactly.
would anybody pay you to come back if that's I mean that they're
Yeah.
not getting their money's worth, right? So um, yeah, I mean,
And that's a
when I
huge
have
loss
I mean,
of revenue.
we have our booth at the conventions, and my team is very engaged, and people come up, and we stand up, and we talk to them, and show them our stuff, and answer questions, and we smile, and we're nice, and and we want people to come back, and see us again the next year, and we're not even paid to be there. We're paying to be there. So I don't know. It's
Absolutely.
super
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. I
Absolutely.
only had one like kind of funny experience at one of the this is when, so Dre, I think it was like our first or second one that we had gone to, and Dre was just still a little guy. He was like five or six maybe. It was so funny. But we got to meet one of the Sons of Anarchy stars. Okay.
Okay.
And it was Tommy Flanagan, and I loved him, like, on the show. Yeah, he had been engaging in some drinking before. So you could really smell it on him, hey? And he would talk like right here. And poor Dre was just like, it was so funny. And then I had said to him, so he started signing. I said, can you sign it to Kathy, right? And Andreas, for the both of us. So he started signing my name, but he put a K. And I said, oh, I'm sorry, it's with a C. And so he looked at me, rip. Like that, exactly. Like that's literally what and I was like, oh, shit. So then he pulls it out, started signing it again, and he's like, is that better? And I'm like, uh-huh. And he's like, are you sure? And then he's just smiled, like he was actually, like he was just teasing, you know what I mean? But we were like kind of like, oh yeah. So anyway, then we're walking around the expo, like, and Dre says to me, he says, Mom, why do people keep looking at you? And I'm like, I don't know, because I was noticing that too. Like people were like, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, do I have toilet paper on my shoe? Like, did I forget my pants? Like, what? Like, what is happening, right? Because they would walk by and be like, oh, and so anyway, about a week later, we went to a neighborhood store, and I knew this wasn't the same guy that I told the story about, earlier, but this was somebody else. Anyway, and we walked in, and he's like, oh, you. And I'm like, oh, me. Okay. And he goes, no, but I guess what happened is after he left, Tommy Flanagan says, okay, look at, and he said this to a whole lineup of people. Like pretty much everybody in that round that he was doing, like, because they signed for like an hour, take a break, go back, you know what I mean? So I guess pretty much to everybody in that round, I guess he was basically saying, watch out for this lady. She's wearing like bright pink pants, and she's got long blonde hair, because I had really long blonde hair back then, down to about her waist, and she's wearing this, and her name is Kathy, and tell her it's Kathy with a C. And I don't like that, or something. It was something along that line. So basically he did this to a whole bunch of people and told them. And so we were being watched. It was so funny. Oh my God. But that's, you know what? That makes a Comic-Con.
Yeah.
That's an experience. Like, so for me, I love Tommy Flanagan. I mean, that was amazing. Like, I mean, it was a little confusing while we were there, but once I found out why, I was like, that's fun. That's awesome. Like, I was really, but that's the experience that you should be having, or something similar. Like, you should be walking away from it with a really positive and happy experience.
Yes, I agree with you. I
Yeah.
agree with you.
I mean, even Stan Lee, I mean, like, the guy was completely like, it's like, I mean, he was, like 100 years old. You know what I mean? And so, Dre would say something to him, and Dre was still just a little guy, even then. And he'd be like, he looked at his, assistant or whatever. What did he say? He said this. Oh, okay, little guy. Okay. But even that, you know what I mean? He was old. He was probably in pain, couldn't hear anything, and he's still signing away. That's an experience that people should be having when they go to these things, right? It's because Dre always remembers it. Remember when Stan Lee said this? You know what I mean? Like, he engaged with him, and that's a pretty big deal for a little kid.
But Trevor, you're right when you say, if you are committed to going to one of those events, then you know what the score is. You know that you're going to have fans there, and you know that you're going to meet other people from different shows, and you're going to engage with them. And hopefully it's going to be a pleasant experience for everyone. And you're not going to treat anybody horribly, because your reputation is on the line for everyone.
It affects all of us. Yeah. It affects especially when you got the faces of the paranormal,
Yeah.
to the public, and they're acting like that. I mean,
Yeah.
we've, I in classes that I give at conventions, we talk about how one team's actions or one person's action affects all of us.
It does.
It's just, yeah, it's frustrating
It is.
to see. So
It is.
All of the people that we've had on the show, you know what I mean? And I mean, even Chris McKinnell, like, and Lorraine Warren's grandson, you know what I mean? Like we've had, people that are well known or celebrity status in some aspect, and they've always been so kind and
yeah,
so generous with their time
yes,
and, just their kindness and everything. Like it's so, it's so wonderful to be able to have that experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
right.
Yes.
And these are people that you're going to remember, but you're also going to, the thing is that when a paracon comes up, you might go, oh, you know what, I got a chance to meet him, or he was so kind, I am going to spend my money and go to this thing. But when you've got these celebrities, like, from these famous TV shows that are just jackasses, you know
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And and it's sad because a lot of them have to essentially, I guess, made their money or made their whatever, their mark. So I mean, if you're sick of it, go retire.
Yes. True. Don't do it anymore if you don't like people and you don't like your comrades in the field, then bye bye.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. But you know what though? But Trevor's a nice guy. And if you really want to try this app, I think you should.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Periscopelab.com, and then search Periscope Investigator on Google Store for Android. Someday I'll get it out on iOS, but I got to sell a few copies of Periscope first before I can afford a Mac. So
Yes. Yes.
Exactly. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us this week. We truly appreciate it. As always, we are so grateful that you're here with us today. And thank you again. And please make sure that if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Please like the video because it really helps our algorithm. Share the video if you feel drawn to do so. And check out periscope.com. So, all right, guys, have a wonderful day. Take care. We'll see you next week.